Princess Diana has connections to the missing journalist Jamal Khashoggi, who is thought to have been murdered by Saudi Arabia, through her lover Dadi Fayed. Early this month, Jamal Khashoggi disappeared after entering the Saudi consulate in Istanbul in order to get a document that proved that he was divorced. Mr. Khashoggi was planning on marrying his Turkish fiancée Hatice Cengiz. Turkish authorities are saying that they have audio and video that proves that Mr. Khashoggi was tortured, killed and dismembered by a 15-person team. It's now been revealed Princess Diana's lover, Dadi Fayed, is first cousin to the Saudi journalist Jamal Khashoggi. Mr. Fayed was born in Alexandria, Egypt to the former Harrods owner Mohammed Fayed. His mother was Samira Khashoggi, the sister of the Saudi billionaire Adnan Khashoggi. Adnan was Jamal's father. Diana and Mr. Fayed met in 1986 during a polo match at Windsor while Diana was still married to Prince Charles. They later fell in love and in 1997 she was photographed kissing him. The pair died together in a car crash during that trip to Paris. International pressure on Saudi Arabia following the disappearance of Mr. Khashoggi is growing, with allies around the world demanding answers. However, Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman denies any involvement or knowledge of Jamal Khashoggi's killing. Mr. Khashoggi's fiancée wrote in the New York Times, "I saw reports about President Trump wanting to invite me to the White House. If he makes a genuine contribution to the efforts to reveal what happened inside the Saudi consulate in Istanbul that day, I will consider accepting his invitation." Mr. Khashoggi also has an unusual connection to the U.S. president. In 1987, Trump bought Adnan Khashoggi's yacht for £22.8 million. Princess Diana gifted her jewels to her sons so that their future wives could one day wear them, but who's wearing what? Meghan Markle, 37, has been dubbed the next Princess Diana as an advocate of humanitarian causes and campaigner of women's rights. Shortly after it was announced that Meghan and Prince Harry are expecting their first child together, Meghan was spotted wearing yellow gold butterfly earrings that once belonged to Diana. The earrings, unseen for 32 years, were paired with the former prince's gold bracelet and worn to Admiralty House in Sydney during their tour in Australia. Diana first wore the earrings during her own royal tour to Canada with Prince Charles in May 1986 when Harry was just 18 months old. Before her death in 1997, Diana wrote a letter of wishes alongside her will to divvy up her estate to her loved ones. She requested that 1/4 of the value of her £21 million estate was to be given to her 17 godchildren, with the remaining 3/4 to be handed to her sons William and Harry, the Daily Mail reported. Within this, was her striking jewelry collection. Diana wrote, "I would like you to allocate all my jewelry to the share to be held by my sons, so that their wives may, in due course, have it or use it." Prince William initially looked after the collection, and in recent years the brothers have divided up what remains of it. As Diana's first daughter-in-law, Kate Middleton, 36, was first to be seen sporting her jewels with the sapphire and diamond engagement ring given to her by William, 36, when he proposed in Kenya in 2010. The ring is an oval Ceylon sapphire surrounded by 14 diamonds and set in 18-karat white gold. Diana chose the £300,000 ring from a tray of a dozen presented by the royal jeweller Gerard after dinner with the Queen at Windsor Castle. At the time of his engagement, William said he had picked his mother's ring as a way of making sure my mother didn't miss out on today and the excitement. The brothers have also adapted some of her jewelry in a move to modernize it for their wives. Harry too wanted to ensure that Diana was somehow represented in his wife's engagement ring, and he included 2 diamonds from her oval Sri Lankan sapphire necklace. The diamonds sit either side of a large diamond that he sourced from Botswana to make sure she's with us on this crazy journey together. Meghan added, "It's so important to me to know that she's a part of this with us." A square-cut aquamarine cocktail ring that was given to Diana by her friend, Lucia Fleca de Lima, to celebrate the day her divorce became final in 1996, now has a new meaning as Harry gifted the item to Meghan for their wedding day on 19th of May. Meghan wore the stunning ring with her silk Stella McCartney evening wedding dress at Frogmore House, adding a splash of color to her outfit. Another piece adapted by the young royals was a pair of earrings from Diana's most famous collections. The jewels were a wedding present from Crown Prince Fahd known as the Saudi Suite, and including a sapphire watch, earrings, bracelet, ring and necklace. After William gifted the earrings to Kate after their engagement in 2010, she refashioned them into drop earrings from chunky sapphire studs surrounded by 10 round diamonds. Diana had famously worn the earrings for Harry's birth in 1985. Princess Diana's mother was forced to give up her children in a bitter custody battle which damaged the people's princess mentally, a shocking tell-all documentary has revealed. A Netflix series, Royal House of Windsor, delves into Princess Diana's childhood, which was a contributing factor leading to the untimely demise of the marriage of the Prince and Princess of Wales. The documentary's narrator, Jamal, said, Diana's neediness stemmed from a troubled childhood. A witness to her parents' acrimonious divorce, she and her siblings were the subject of a bitter custody battle. As a result, Diana's mother had to give up her children. Diana later admitted she had been haunted by the crunch of the gravel as her mother departed. The princess was reported to have wept for hours on end, and berated her husband about his former mistress, Camilla Parker Bowles, and the oppressive atmosphere of the royal court. The prince had dated Camilla in the early 1970s, before allegedly dating 20 women over the next decade in an attempt to move on. Ms. Parker Bowles was not believed to be a suitable match for the Prince of Wales due to her background, as Charles was expected to marry someone with no past. In a groundbreaking interview with Panorama in 1995, after Charles and Diana had separated, the People's Princess revealed there were 3 of us in her and Charles's marriage and that it was a bit crowded. Penny Junor, royal biographer, said, she was damaged, mentally, by her experiences. And then moving into the royal family was the worst possible scenario that she could have found for herself. The Prince and Princess of Wales found themselves elevated to the world's most admired couple in the 1980s. The pair were mobbed wherever they went. But this led to the princess having terrible tantrums, terrible mood changes, went into rages, floods of tears, Ms. Junor added. Charles didn't know what the hell had happened and he thought that in some way, it must be his fault. Princess Diana struggled with the constant press attention. And during their 1981 tour of Wales, she burst into tears and refused to get out of the car. Royal expert Sally Bedell-Smith said, one of the saddest aspects of Diana's short and turbulent life was the failure of those around her, friends and family alike, to convince her to obtain treatment for her extreme symptoms of mental instability. Prince Charles was furious Princess Diana did not live in his shadow, and the royal family were ill-prepared to deal with the princess's troubled and complex personality, an extraordinary tell-all documentary has revealed. A Netflix series, Royal House of Windsor, paints a picture of Prince Charles and Princess Diana's relationship. In a TV interview, the 21-year-old Charles said, "Whomever I choose is going to have a jolly hard job, always in my shadow." But the heir to the throne was left angered when he could not treat the people's princess like a toy. In the series, historian Dr. Piers Brendan said, Charles felt he could impose his own personality on her and she would become a kind of female complement to him. So she was a toy, she was a kind of Barbie doll as far as he was concerned. Charles and Diana were forced to get hitched after just 12 days following intense pressure from the royal family. Several members, including Prince Philip, urged the Prince of Wales to leave his bachelor life behind and settle down with a decent woman. Charles met Diana at a party at Petworth House, and their friendship soon blossomed. Prince Philip issued Charles an ultimatum in a letter in which he instructed his son to marry Diana, or leave her. But the hurried marriage led to the couple's untimely demise. The documentary's narrator, Jamal, said, behind Diana's shy smile lurked a troubled, complex character one Charles and the rest of the royal family were ill-prepared to deal with. Penny Junor, royal biographer, said, Diana was damaged. She needed to feel loved 100% of the time. Charles, on the other hand, was a very needy young man. Ms. Junor added, he felt he was never good enough for his parents, certainly never good enough for his father, and his mother was rather absent because she was queen. And what he wanted in a marriage was a wife who would support him, and in Diana, he didn't have that wife, so it was a really, really tragic mismatch.